pull up, grab the fuel nozzle, and get ready to fuel up on trends and strategies to grow your travel center business in this episode of the Truck Stops Here, brought to you by the NATSO Foundation. Now, here's your host, Amy Toner.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode of the Truck Stops Here. I'm your host, Amy Toner, and today I have my co-host, Mr. Darren Schulte. Hey, Darren.
Amy, how are you today?
Good. You are listening to Truck Stops Here, the NATSO Foundation's podcast. The NATSO Foundation is the research, education, and public outreach subsidiary of NATSO. The podcast is just one of the many educational tools the foundation creates. Today, my guest is Valkyrie Musarra. She's the Chief Executive Officer and Executive Vice President for Bowlin Travel Centers.
Hi.
Hey there.
Hi, Amy. Hi, Darren.
So Bowlin is a longtime NATSO member, and we're so lucky to have you here today. Can you just start us by telling us about Bowlin?
Sure. Well, we've been around a really long time. We started in 1912, and actually my grandparents started the company, and we started as trading posts along the highways at that time. We've since expanded into travel centers, so not as much of the trading, but people stopping for merchandise, fuel, and food. And so it's been over 100 years of lots of different stories and customers and travelers, but that's who we focus our operations on.
Well, you mentioned a bit the trading, but it's just safe to say that it's very unique. You know, Bowlin Travel Centers aren't like just your regular cookie cutter truck stop. So can you tell us about the profit centers and what you guys have?
Sure. Well, we have all different categories. We sell everything from, T-shirts and keychains all the way to more expensive handmade Native American jewelry, pottery, just all kinds of items. We also sell fuel, as well as have 5 Dairy Queens attached to our stores. We have 10 stores along the highways of I-10 and I-40 in New Mexico and Arizona. So we reach a lot of travelers, as well as have a broad array of items for them to purchase and visit.
It's pretty close to you, right, Darren? Have you been in?
It is. I think one of the amazing things that they do, amongst many things, is their billboard program. It's if you're down in my neck of the woods on Interstate 10 and you're headed from El Paso, Texas to Phoenix, it's just a really great way to attract customers into your businesses. They do an exceptional job with their billboard programs.
We talked about it a bit. You have some really different and interesting merchandising that's not seen anywhere else. How do you shop for it? What's your strategies for displays? I'd love to hear more about it.
Well, of course, we go to trade shows, but most of all, what we've always done for all the years that I can remember is we have a unique relationship with the Native American tribes and Indians. So we have lots of artists that we go and visit in Gallup and in other areas to bring our Native American jewelry and pottery to the stores, as well as the trade shows, which bring other merchandise options. And we also travel to Mexico and to other states where we've operated with all kinds of vendors for many years to bring both fireworks and other items into the stores.
What about displaying? Since I haven't got to see it, is there a strategy to your displays?
We, of course, want the displays to look nice. The jewelry is all displayed in lit cases so that it presents well. And then there's usually a tone to each table, whether it is elephants or dolls or things like that. We try to put them all in the same area. The Talavera pottery that stands out because of the bright colors. So we do have a way of merchandising our stores to attract customers.
One thing that Darren's been talking about for a long time is that sort of like experiential, you're trying to find the thing that you can't get anywhere else. I just imagine that's so much of the appeal of going into one of your stores.
It is. We have a lot of things that other stores sell, but on the other hand, we also have many unique items that you can't find in other places. Yeah. And we do keep our prices competitive so that we offer it at maybe a lower price than you would see in Santa Fe, New Mexico, or somewhere that is more touristy.
Okay, someone told me that Bowlin has an entire community and staff that are in temporary RVs. Is that true? I'd love to hear more about
That
it.
is correct. We house our employees, or a lot of our employees, behind our stores, and we have ventured into the work camping world. And that is
Okay.
RVers that like to travel to all the different states and work for maybe 4 to 6 months and then move on to another state. We find that they're really reliable, tend to have good work ethic, and have been in really higher management positions in their previous jobs and bring a great asset to our business.
I heard it's very competitive to get those people because they're just great and they're looking for like I wrote an article about it. Coffee Cup does it too, and they were saying how you sort of have to sell them, right? So they must be having a great experience with you guys.
It's tough, and they look a year, 6 months to a year out. So
Right.
it's really hard to know, where are we going to need them at that time, but also are we going to miss out if we don't hire them that far in advance? So it's a odd timeline to try to get the right fit and the time worked out.
What do you see as the major challenges facing Bowlin in the coming years?
Well, we, like all businesses, are faced with the challenges of the minimum wage mandatory increases, the Department of Labor salary threshold increases, the rise in the
Yeah.
cost of goods, and the challenges with finding employees. We are remote. We're in the outskirts of cities where most places are in the city. So we have to work extra hard to recruit for our employees. But with the pay and the cost of goods and the employees, it makes it very difficult to sometimes stay in business. But we've been in business over 100 years. We are not going anywhere. We're going to face these challenges head on and with your help and others, fight some of these policies that are going into effect for the greater good of the business owners.
You're very involved with politics, right? Or Bowlin is, and you?
Yeah, yes, we are engaged with many outside organizations, NACS, NATSO, of course, our restaurant associations and tourism associations, because we have to follow the trends and we have to get on board to fight issues that may be harmful to our business and other businesses in the States.
Okay, before I look to the future, did we miss anything, Darren?
Well, one of the things that I in particular think they do an exceptional job of is you reference the experience, but when you go into a Bowlin Travel Center, customers are there for a good amount of time. So what I find fascinating is traditionally in our space, a customer fuels in the forecourt as an example and it gets in and out of a location very, very quickly. And that's not the case in their locations. It's a treasure hunt for a lot of folks. And it really can be a learning for other members and as a way to get someone from their car into your store and to spend quality time, because any of their stores you go in, including myself, you will start looking around, and whether you end up just with a candy bar or some moccasins or a dream catcher or whatever it may be, something is going to catch your eyes. And I do think that's really important for other fellow NATSO members to understand, because if it's only just about fuel, you're just going to get customers that coming in and out and leave, and that's definitely not happening at Bowlin. It's an exciting treasure hunt, especially when you see the kids. It's a sight to see.
Darren always talks about putting the candy and the kid stuff on the lower level. Is that what you guys do?
Oh, we have a whole kids section, so we do have that at a lower level, as well as a few dog toys here and there, because we do allow pets to come into our store as well. And like he said, as you do fill up, you tend to come in and use the restroom, and then your eyes just travel to all the bright, beautiful, colorful merchandise, and you end up walking away with something for you or a person at home. And then, of course, you can't help but smell the Dairy Queen burgers or see the ice cream and wander over and get lunch and a blizzard to go. So it is unique, and people spend a lot of time in the stores.
Okay. What about the future? Any future plans?
Oh, we're just trying to hang on there. We want to stay in business. We want to continue to serve the traveling public. We do have a large billboard division that helps to bring traffic into our stores. And so, really, the future is about finding new opportunities, different avenues possibly to sell our merchandise, and then, of course, just keep going with our 10 travel centers and work with the government to keep the wages at a fair rate, as well as other rules and regulations that affect us, because ultimately that's what's going to keep people in business. And we need to stay in business. We want to stay in business, and we're a landmark on the highways. So we're going to do whatever we can to continue to operate and do what we do best.
Awesome. All right. Do you have time for a few fun questions that I didn't prepare you for? Because I like them to be a surprise. They're very
Sure.
easy. Okay. What is your go-to on the road snack?
My go-to on the road snack. Well, we sell these wonderful nuts. They're like a nut coated with candy coating. And when I am traveling along the store routes, I always get those to snack on in the car. Anywhere else, I would say I always like combos, and you can't find combos many places, but that's my travel on the road snack.
Yeah, it always needs to be something that like you can always find, and it's more exciting when you
Right.
get it. Okay, how do you take your truck stop coffee?
Oh, I'm always more cream than coffee, so I take it with some French vanilla cream is always good.
Nice, me too. Okay, do you prefer to ride or drive?
I prefer to drive. It just
Okay,
takes
and then-
my mind to a different place, and I don't fall asleep.
Okay, and then we like to end with our faux controversial question, which is it truck stop, travel center, or travel plaza?
Well, we like to say travel center because we don't offer the things the truck stop offers. And so we do always get the question, can you book our trip? And I say, well, I could, but I'm not in that business, so I can also get you some great merchandise. So there is some confusion, but we like travel center.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, and thank you, Darren.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, and thank you for listening to today's episode of The Truck Stops Here. You can find us online at natso.com/podcast. If you have any questions or you'd like to be on the podcast, reach out to me at atoner@natsofoundation.org. Bye.
The Truck Stops Here was brought to you by the NATSO Foundation, the research, education, and public outreach subsidiary of NATSO. The Truck Stops Here is produced by the NATSO Foundation in collaboration with Human Factor. Producers are Amy Toner and Darren Schulte.